This is Mill Creek, the watery heart of the Mill Creek Wilderness. We are hiking from Wildcat Campground for a few miles north on the Twin Pillars Trail 832 to experience a desert stream and the life that surrounds it. We are not young. We are not in a hurry. We like to study the landscape features and the small details, the flora, the fauna, the long arc of geological history.
We believe, like Aristotle, that in all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. We are Elizabeth and Terry. We are two on a trail. As Lao Tzu observed, water flows humbly to the lowest level. Nothing is weaker than water, yet for overcoming what is hard and strong, nothing surpasses it.
We have explored the upper reaches of Mill Creek, where it began in springs along the Twin Pillars Trail. We have seen how it has carved the deep reaches of Desolation Canyon. And here, along the Mill Creek Trail, starting from Wildcat Campground, we can follow its meanders and observe the flora and fauna along the way.
So we are at the lower end of where we were yesterday, the Twin Pillars Trail, and we're just this follows Mill Creek and goes through a burn area. So we're just gonna see what it's like.
On y va.
Okay, let's go. Ochoco territory has ancestral ties to the northern Paiute, and these mountains have been occupied and visited by the Wascopum, Walla Walla, Tenino, northern Paiute, Klamath, Umatilla, Grand Ronde, and Mollala peoples, who have stewarded this land since time immemorial and still live and thrive here.
You sure got a lot of new signage in here.
Nice.
Sounds like the Forest Service is getting excited about updating. We're so used to seeing wilderness signs that are burnt up or split in half or tipped over and laying on the ground because they don't get the attention. Of course, it costs money.
This is our first glimpse of Mill Creek. Nice little creek right in here. I guess we have to cross it a number of times. It's kind of nice to see this vegetation right around the creek. It's kind of like this green line up on the hills. It's pretty dry, but there are nice trees up there. These trees didn't get killed by the fire. We heard some birds, but when we stopped to see what they were, they stopped talking.
Yeah. You know, lots of times in this part of the country, when you see streams like this, they run through pasture land and cattle graze up along them, and the shrubbery, the foliage along the stream itself gets trampled, and the stream banks erode, and it doesn't become a pretty stream anymore, or it's not a pretty stream anymore.
So this stream is meandering, and it's actually braided right in here. In other words, there are a couple of channels that it goes through. So it has the appearance, at least to my untrained eye, of being a fairly healthy stream, which is good. It's in a wilderness area, but we know that cattle, I think, are sometimes allowed to graze in wilderness areas. I'm not sure about that either. So, but this is a good, it's great habitat for butterflies and birds and, squirrels and the other things that are hiding from us or come out at night.
We made our first creek crossing. It was about a mile in from the campground. And there are these beautiful asters in here and some wild roses. A little variety of flora.
The flowers of yellow salsify contain nectar and pollen and are visited by many species of insects and birds. Another of its names is goat's beard, taken from the complex and abundant seed heads, which are eaten by small rodents, birds, and larger mammals.
You know, I've got pretty good balance, and I was feeling a little shaky on that other log, so this one looked better. Kind of feel like taking my boots off and walking in the stream. Well, looks refreshing.
Wow, it looks pretty dry up there. Like a totally different ecosystem. But after 22 years, it's pretty lush in here.
Yeah. Some big trees, some big pines.
Yep.
Tall and straight. So many wild roses on this trail.
All of a sudden, we're in this beautiful grove of baby aspen. They look like they're all about the same age, shivering beautifully in the wind. Well, we are at our lunch spot, which is our point of arrival and return, I guess you'd say. And it's a really pretty place. We found some shade. And the wind blowing through the big pine trees is quite lovely. I don't know, these look like ponderosa pine to me, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a mixture. But, listen to the wind. So we are here just coming back from our junction, and Ellen Bishop in her book Hiking Oregon's Geology mentioned that there, in this section of the trail, 80 to 90 to 100% of the tamarack and pine were destroyed in that hatch fire of 2000, and this is probably one of those places where it extensively burned. And I think this is ceanothus, these bushes up here which come in after the fire. Something up there that's blooming. Not sure what it is, but this is what a fire looks like. 22 years later, forest regenerating itself.
When we were going up this trail on our walk in, I noticed this tree that had the roses growing up in it. I just thought it was really quite something. A nice big meadow off to the right. It's really a wonderful trail. It's nothing spectacular, but so many interesting things add up to spectacular. Creek is off there in that direction. the downhill. Kind of got the gradient going down of the extreme, and then some little ups and downs, but that's pretty much it.
Mhm.